My name is Aisha. I am 32 years old. Please listen to my story completely. It is a very special story. It is not just a story, it is a feeling of love, pain, hope, and light. Maybe this story will change something inside your heart. Maybe you will remember it always. Let me take you to a small town. This town is quiet, simple, and full of kind people. In this town, there was a girl. Her name was Noor. Noor was only 11 years old. She had a sweet smile and big, bright eyes. She was poor, but she had a rich heart. She had no father. Her mother worked very hard to feed her. Every day, her mother cleaned houses. She came home tired, but still gave Noor a warm hug. One day, Noor said to her mother, "Mama, why do you look so tired?" Her mother smiled softly and said, "Because I work hard, my Noor. I want you to study, eat well, and sleep in peace." Noor looked at her mother's hands. They were rough, full of cuts and dry skin. She held them and said, "One day, Mama, I will make everything better. I will be strong, and you will rest." Her mother kissed her forehead. "You already make everything better, Noor." This was love. Pure, simple love, but life is not always easy. One day, Noor went to school. Her uniform was old. Her shoes had holes. Some children laughed at her. "Look at her shoes." One boy said, "She looks like she came from the trash." Noor felt her heart break a little. She wanted to cry, but she remembered her mother's face. She remembered her promise dot, so she smiled and said, "Maybe my shoes are broken, but my dreams are not." That one sentence made the other children stop. They looked at her, surprised. Noor walked away, holding her head high. Later, one of the girls, named Sarah, came to her. Sarah was rich. Her hair always looked perfect. She had the best lunchbox. Sarah said, "Why did you say that about your dreams?" Noor looked at her and said, "Because I believe it. My dreams are all I have." Sarah was quiet for a moment. Then she opened her bag. She took out a small packet. "Here," she said. "These are new socks. My mom bought many. I want you to have one." Noor's eyes filled with tears. She smiled, a real smile, and whispered, "Thank you." That day, something beautiful happened. One girl gave socks. One girl gave hope. Two hearts touched Dot at home. Noor told her mother. Her mother listened, smiled, and said, "You see, kindness grows like flowers. One small act, and the whole garden changes." Noor never forgot that. Time passed. Noor kept studying. She read books under a streetlight because there was no light at home. She helped her mother. She did not complain. Even when she was tired, she smiled. One day, her teacher said, "Noor, you are very smart. I want you to take a test. If you do well, you will get a scholarship." Noor asked, "What is a scholarship?" The teacher said, "It means the school will help you. You can study more. You don't have to pay. It's a gift." Noor looked surprised. "Really? But I am poor." The teacher smiled. "Your brain is not poor. Your heart is not poor. You deserve it." Noor studied day and night. She read every paper she could find. She even used old notebooks her mother found in garbage. Finally, the test day came. Noor was nervous. Her hands shook, but she took a deep breath and whispered, "Mama, I will do my best." After 2 weeks, the results came. Noor had passed. Not only passed, she was number one. Her teacher hugged her. Her mother cried with joy. "You did it, my child, you did it." That moment was full of light. The whole house felt like it was. Shining, Noor had opened a door, not just for her, but for her family. But the story doesn't end there. 1 year later, Noor met a boy named Zain. Zain was in her class. He was quiet, always sitting alone. One day, she saw him crying behind the school. She went to him and said, "Why are you crying?" Zain looked away. "You won't understand. Your life is good." Noor sat beside him. "Maybe I do understand. Try me." Zain wiped his tears and said, "My father beats me. My mother left us. I sleep hungry sometimes." Noor took his hand and said softly, "You are not alone anymore." From that day, they became friends. Noor would share her lunch. She would help him with schoolwork. She would talk to him when he felt sad. Zain once asked, "Why do you help me so much?" Noor smiled and said, "Because someone helped me once." And love should keep going. Years passed. Noor grew up. She got a full scholarship to college. She studied medicine. She wanted to be a doctor. Zain also worked hard. He became an artist. He painted dreams on walls and hearts on paper. One day, Noor opened a small clinic in her town. She treated people for free. Poor people came, sick children came, old women came, and Noor helped them all. Her mother now sat in a chair under the sun, sipping tea, finally resting. Zain painted a big picture on the wall of her clinic. It showed a girl in torn shoes walking toward the light. He said, "That is you, Noor." And Noor said, "No, Zain, that is every child who believes. That is every heart that loves." Everyone in the town loved Noor. They called her the Light Girl. But one evening, something special happened. A little girl came to Noor's clinic. Her name was Haya. She had no shoes, no lunch, no smile. Noor looked at her and remembered herself. She bent down and said, "Do you believe in dreams, Haya?" Haya said softly, "I want to, but I am too hungry." Noor gave her warm food, gave her a soft bed, gave her a new uniform. Then she gave her a mirror and said, "Look, this girl in the mirror, she is strong. She is not small. She is full of power." Haya looked and smiled, and Noor smiled too, because she knew the story was starting again, and a new child, a new dream, and maybe just maybe, this time it will shine even brighter. Let me continue from here with more emotion and love, unless you want me to stop. Would you like the story to go on? The next morning, Noor woke up early. She looked at the sky. It was full of soft orange clouds. The air smelled fresh. Birds were singing sweet songs. She sat beside her mother and said, "Mama, do you remember when we had nothing?" Her mother nodded. "Yes, Noor, I remember, but we had each other. Noor took her mother's hand and whispered, "Now we have so many people, so many hearts. I feel like our family is bigger than before." Her mother smiled and said, "That's because when you give love, you grow a bigger family. Not with blood, but with hearts." Noor went to her clinic and saw Haya waiting. Haya was holding a flower. She ran to Noor and said, "This is for you. I found it near the river. It's not big, but it's pretty." Noor knelt and took the flower. She held it like it was gold. "It is beautiful, Haya," she said, "because it came from your heart." Haya looked up and asked, "Can I be a doctor like you?" Noor said, "You can be anything. Just promise me one thing." "What?" Haya asked. "Promise you will never stop being kind." "I promise," Haya said with a big smile. That day, Noor saw many patients, a woman with a weak heart, a man with no legs, a baby with fever. She treated them all with care. She gave medicine, but also gave love. She held their hands. She listened to their stories. Some people came just to talk. They said, "We feel better just by being near you." And Noor always replied, "That's because I carry all of you in my heart." One evening, when Noor closed her clinic, she saw Zain sitting on a bench. He was sketching something. She asked, "What are you drawing now?" Zain showed her the paper. It had a picture of Noor holding Haya's hand, walking into the sunrise. Noor laughed. "You always make me look like a hero." Zain looked at her and said gently, "You are, not just to me, to this whole town." Noor felt quiet. She looked at the sky again. The stars were coming out. "Zain," she asked, "do you think one small person can really change the world?" Zain nodded. "I don't think I know, because I saw you do it." Tears filled Noor's eyes, not because she was sad, but because her heart was full. She remembered the day she sat under a streetlight with a torn book. She remembered her mother's tired eyes. She remembered the old socks from a rich girl. She remembered everything. She whispered, "Thank you, life. Thank you for the pain. Thank you for the love." Later that week, something magical happened. A big news reporter came to the town. They heard about the light girl. They wanted to talk to Noor. The camera turned on. The lights were bright, but Noor was calm. The reporter asked, "Noor, you are so young, but you have done so much. What is your secret?" Noor smiled and said, "My secret? I had nothing." And that made me see everything. The reporter was quiet for a moment, then asked, "What do you want the world to know?" Noor looked straight into the camera and said, "I want the world to know this. Never laugh at someone's broken shoes. Never ignore someone's hunger. Never forget a child's dream. Because one of them might grow up and heal your whole town." Like I tried to, the video went everywhere. People cried. People smiled. People felt something in their hearts. Letters came. Gifts came. But Noor stayed the same. She said, "All I want is to help more. Not to be famous, just to be useful." One day, a man came to the clinic. He had a big bag and kind eyes. He said, "I saw your video. I am from a big city. I have money. I want to help build a hospital here. Noor said, Why me? Why this? Calm, the man said, because love lives here, and love should grow. And so, with help, Noor built a small hospital. It was called the House of Hope. It had beds, medicine, warm food, and kind words. Everyone who came left with a lighter heart. Years passed. Noor became older. Haya became a doctor too. Zayn's paintings were in big galleries, but his favorite ones still hung in Noor's hospital. Noor's mother passed away one spring morning. She left peacefully, holding Noor's hand. Before she left, she said, You made my life beautiful, Noor. I can rest now. Noor held her and whispered, You are the reason I became who I am. Even though her mother left, Noor kept going. Her eyes still shined with the same fire. One rainy day, Noor saw a boy sitting under a tree. He looked cold, scared, and lost. She walked to him slowly. Are you okay? She asked. The boy looked up. His lips were blue. His clothes were wet. I don't know where my home is, he said. Or took off her shawl and wrapped it around him. She lifted him in her arms and said, Then come with me. I will be your home. The boy cried in her arms, and Noor cried too, because even after all those years, her heart was still open, still soft, still full of light. People asked her, Don't you ever get tired of helping? She always said, No, because love does not make you tired, it makes you alive. One night, Noor sat outside. She looked at the stars again. Zayn came and gave her a new painting. It showed a road made of stars. And walking on it, barefoot, was a little girl with a bag of books. He said, I called it the Path of Light. Noor looked at the painting and touched it softly. She whispered, I hope more children walk this path. I hope the world becomes softer. And you, reading this now, yes, you. Can you feel Noor's heart? Can you see how small acts, a lunch shared, a smile given, a hand held, can grow into something so big, so bright? Please, never think your kindness is small. Never. Think your dream is silly. Never think your pain is useless. Everything inside you matters. And maybe, just maybe, you are the next light in someone's dark. So keep going, keep loving, keep shining. And if this story touched your heart, please like and subscribe for more stories like this. Your support gives strength to the words and helps more people hear them. Help this light reach more hearts.